Good morning, YouTube. This is Rob. I put up a video showing a new staff that I got for the year. Well, I sealed the ends properly, but I neglected to put glue inside this split that I was trying to save so I could carve around it. And it split all the way down. Well, about halfway down. Well, it's going to continue to split, I think. But so I took the wrapping off of it, and I started something different. I took the wrapping here, and I'm going to wrap it into a small container vessel. Gathering basket is what it's going to be. Or I might just give it to my wife when I'm done. But hold on, I'll be right back with you. I'll show you something else. Okay, I'm back. Remember how I said this was time sensitive before it dried out? Well, it's been raining here in Missouri for 2 days. And what I did is I set all this stuff out back on my back porch knowing it was going to rain. That way I had more time with it. It's all wet. It's actually, I can squeeze a little bit of water out of it. So when I start braiding more of this to make the gathering basket, I'll have plenty of this to weave together now. So I just wanted to show you that if you throw it outside and you make sure it gets wet, or you keep it in water, it will last a little bit longer. You just have to dry it out once you get ready to use it. So what I'll do is I'll weave this into the rope so that I can make it into my gathering basket, and then it will dry that way. It'll dry to the form that I give it. So, alright, well, I'll show you some of the weaving process while I'm at work today, and some of the sewing process of the basket. I hope you enjoy these. It keeps my time going on, so I don't feel like I'm wasting the day. Alright, I'll talk to you in a little while. Okay, y'all. That natural cordage I had wrapped around that staff that I showed you earlier that split all the way down the center, I took the cordage off of it, and I've decided to go ahead and make weave a bowl or something out of it. So this is how I got it started here. It's already started. I didn't even think about showing it to you on how I started it, but I can show it to you here in a little while. As you can see, I got a little pattern starting to emerge. Let's see, I'll get a little closer. You might be able to see the pattern starting to emerge a little bit. But I'm going to show you how to do it. It's not real hard. I'm just using that natural cordage and artificial sinew here. What I'm doing is the way I'm wrapping it here. I'll do one stitch and then I'll show you how I'm wrapping. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to start out here. My thread is on the top here. I'm going to go over this one right here, but I'm going to come right back behind it. Alright, pull my string tight, and it's just making a loop just around that one thread there. You want to space it out a little bit, pinch it in and pull it tight. And then you want to flip it over, and on the back side you've got a small pattern going on as well. On the back side you got a small pattern going on, and then you just want to continue picking the next hole over in the pattern, and that will keep your pattern on the top side going straight. And then over, as you can see, my pattern stays. Now back right behind this one here, the outer, make your single loop, back over, turn it over, and go through the next hole.
Now this is going to be real time consuming. It's going to take a while, so I won't have it all filmed today. It's going to take a couple of days to do this. So this is one of those bush projects that you can do out in the bush if you carry sinew like I do. And on my needle here, I'm just using an all-purpose needle from Tandy Leather, the 1201 series that came with several other needles. But this is the biggest one. It seems to go through without too much problem. Every once in a while you got to put it on the table and force it through. Alright, back over again. And I'll wrap up some more cordage here later on. I'll show you how to wrap up that stuff. You know, it's already prepped. We just got to wrap it some more. Alright. And back over here through our next hole again. And just keep on going. You can make this as big or as small as you want. Depends on how you want to do it. Just as long as you keep your pattern going, you'll have a good solid tight weave in the bowl as soon as it's done. Now you can do this with grass, and the way I first learned how to do this, I learned how to do it with pine needles and grass. Now I just happen to have this natural cordage and a bunch of sinew, so you can do it any way you want, but it can be done out in the bush with just grass and pine needles. Or any other kind of material you might want to use. You don't want to watch all of this here, but I'll film a little bit more of it. This is something that will occupy a lot of your time if you're wanting to do something out in the bush. I mean, it will occupy days. You know, besides the other fact that it's other stuff that you have to do while you're out there preparing your fires and your meals and things. But if you're going to be out on a week-long trek and you don't like to carve or, you know, flint knap or anything like that, there are plenty of other bushcrafting skills that you can practice and play with. I like to learn a little bit of all of them. I'm not a master of any one of them, but I'd certainly like to test my skills with certain things. And since this is something I've only ever done once, I thought I would go ahead and do another one. Now it's very important to keep in mind while you're doing this. You're doing it, you want to make sure that pattern pretty much stays there so that you have a hole to come back through as you're sewing it up. So that pattern really needs to kind of stay as you can see it. And this is going to get tighter and tighter as I go. Keep you this is something I probably won't carry out into the bush with me, just for the sheer fact that it's just a home project, just to keep my mind occupied. I'll most likely just give this to my wife. She really loves things like this, so. And Easter's coming, so if I can get it done in time for Easter, I can go ahead and fill it up for her, little Easter treats. Alright, I think 8.5 minutes is good enough. Watching enough of this right now. I'll probably edit quite a bit of it actually, because it's going to take me days to do this. I only got 15 minutes to upload videos to YouTube, so y'all don't want to hear me rant anyway. Alright, well, I will come back and take a few stills of this every now and then as well, and keep on showing you those. But you can go out as far as you want. I don't know. I'll keep coming back just to show you how far out I went before I start going up to make it into a bowl. But I still have hours of weaving to do, or braiding to do as well. So, all right, we'll see you with you later on.